Where even are we right now?
I don't even have a good explanation for that.
Episode 5. In the final leg of our trip, we found ourselves in an endless, lush jungle dreamscape. Misty green mountains, kilometer after kilometer of winding roads leading to hidden villages tucked away in untold beauty. It felt as if all the trip had been leading up to this point. Riding now, unburdened by agenda, just 2 bikes on the open road, twisting our way further and further into the unknown. We felt we had finally hit our stride. And had I known then what I know now, the entire trip would have been planned like this. Unmarked roads, unknown towns, cell reception blackout areas, the Ho Chi Minh Trail. This stretch included chance encounters with friendly locals of the human variety and otherwise.
We just had our first encounter with leeches. Apparently they are not limited to just being in the rivers here. They crawl out onto the land and get all over you and suck onto your hands. It's pretty lame, but I don't know. What's the worst that could happen, right?
What is the worst that could happen? A quick Google search indicates mosquitoes and tigers are a greater danger, but don't let these land leeches get to their intended destination.
This is amazing. I don't know where we are, but it's gorgeous.
Having forgotten about the leeches 5 minutes later, we were back at full stride. Enjoying the sheer bliss that was slowly weaving through the countryside, taking in hour after hour of incredible sights and sounds. Amazing scenery rolled out in front of us. One turn, one river, one wave, one mountain, one bridge at a time. It just kept getting better and better. This is exactly what we had imagined when we spent 6 months planning this trip.
This has got to be just about the most epic ride of my life. Can't even believe how windy and narrow and treacherous these mountain passes are. Just absolutely phenomenal. Mudslides everywhere. Oh, it's wild. Totally surreal to be here.
Surreal was absolutely the right word for it. It was hard to keep our feet on the ground, or know exactly where we were, or even keep track of the time.
Day 5.
Day 5.
Day 10, day, I don't know, 7, 8. I don't know. We're getting deeper and deeper into the mountains. Both battling colds, not letting it stop us. Not letting the rain stop us. We're trucking. We're doing it. Look out the way before I get hit by a extraordinarily slow-moving vehicle. We're close to the Laos border right now. We are deep in some forest. Is this jungle? Are we too high for the jungle? Almost got hit there.
5, maybe 10 hours into riding that day, we reached a major intersection, and the trip changed gears completely.
So we're about to the Ho Chi Minh Road. Well, this is a cool little town here. All right, what should we get at this this stop? What kind of food are we looking for?
Pho. There's bun, and then a two-letter word, a me. Go for a banh mi. Pho, or bun, boo. All of it. And hot soupy noodles.
You lead the way. You find us something good.
And Matthew did lead the way. It was a difficult quest of finding a colorful sign with 3-letter words and palatable pictures. although we never knew quite what we'd be in for. This time, it turned out to be small mystery eggs and fish noodle soup.
Wonderful. Gotta try this egg. I just really hope it's not one of those fetal ones.
It wasn't.
I don't think it is. Let's give it a try.
How big is it?
Is that the normal egg variety?
And that hot fish soup or boon cause it may have been, it warmed us after a long cold ride. We then sought out a place to post up for the night, finding a $6 homestay that, while devoid of most charms we were accustomed to, left a lasting impression and was a really special experience. As I said, the trip was changing gears, and our plans made in the last episode were thrown out the window. We were now more freely exploring. And with all possibilities on the table, Matthew was considering trading his good luck eagle for a cow.
Are you gonna trade for the cow?
Tempting as it was, though, a deal could not be reached. Surrounded by a herd of beautiful beasts, we were inspired and received the blessing of the cow. Vamonos, amigos, he whispered, and threw the busted leather flint craw over the loose weave of the saddlecock.
That's normal, right?
Yeah, totally normal. It's cool.
And they rode on in the friscolating dust clay. There was something about this moment, right here. It goes by so quickly, but you know the feeling if you've traveled. Exhausted beyond belief, but smiling like crazy on the inside. Ecstatic at every new little detail you're absorbing. This little town we had decided to randomly explore was opening itself up to us more at every turn. Sometimes the mundane moments in travel can fool you, but never stop paying attention, because you never know which, in memory, are going to develop into the richest. We rode around at random, finding beautiful temples, strange military monuments, and all things foreign to our Western sensibilities. All the while searching for a path to that elusive perfect trail that would take us to some hidden magical place. We became even a little obsessed, riding single track into people's backyards and wandering for quite some time without success.
I see a tiny road.
Until, well, you'll see.
Wherever we are right now, this is amazing. Whoa. I'm gonna die. Bruh.
This is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
We gotta see if we can get a couple minutes out of the battery. It's dry.
This is it. That moment in time you'll travel halfway around the world to find. Peaceful, exotic, remote, difficult beyond all reason to reach. There's nothing like that feeling. When you're there, totally immersed in a wild and new experience. Zero comfort zone, all magic. as darkness fell, we pressed on further.
Looks like the bridge is out.
This is pretty cool. So we cruised out here to the end of the road. The bridge is out, but we're surrounded by these beautiful rice paddies. Absolutely amazing. This bridge could have been out since like the late 60s, I'd say. We have a couple of visitors. We're not sure what they want. We tried to be friendly, but they were kind of like, telling us to go away. I'm a little bit scared right now. I don't know where we are.
Out here on a whim. We took about 3-4 turns down roads that seemed progressively less, paved, and found ourselves surrounded by rice paddies in as rural Vietnam as it gets. We are in the middle of nowhere at the end of a road with a bridge that is down. This is what it's like to be alive. This is phenomenal. I've never seen something so beautiful in my life as riding out here on a dirt road, surrounded by rice paddies with the sunset. Fog and clouds rolling in over the mountains.
Thoughts, feelings?
This is one of the cooler moments of my entire life. Right here, just being right here, right now. The past half hour or so, this is something I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life.
After our epic ride through the rice paddies, we pulled off to some place and looked like maybe some families were eating here. They were happy to pull out a table and extra large or extra medium chairs for us. And they're serving us, and we're not sure what.
I have a feeling it's going to be an interesting meal.
I hope it is. I thought I heard fish, but it doesn't look like fish.
No, they're roasting something over a fire
On a spit.
a spit.
It was definitely a fish.
Oh. Yes.
Whole fish.
Whole fish. Probably cost us a couple $100,000.
How is it?
It's actually really good. It's one of the better fish I've had.
Ever? Of all time?
Ever, really. It's seasoned really well. It's nice and tender. It's super juicy. I don't know what kind of fish it is, but it has like a really good meat texture to it. It's actually like super legitimate good.
Adventure is never what you expect it to be. It's almost always worse and better simultaneously. At this point, throwing out our plans felt like the best idea. So far, it was working out fantastically. We had a few more days and we're extremely optimistic. In episode 6, we find a ride that totally tops the High Van Pass, like by a lot. And incidentally, it's Matthew's favorite day of the trip. We also stay with an indigenous tribe in a thatched hut and both get into a wreck, so lots of excitement. Stay tuned for episode 6, next on Moto Vietnam.